What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. I was debating whether I was just going to discuss this or leave it alone, but I'm just going to share a few of my thoughts on it and let you guys share your thoughts respectfully in the comment section about Joe Budden and his reasoning as to why he decided not to release the interview that he did with Tasha K. Now, before I go into that, I just want to share a little bit that it really doesn't make sense to me. And honestly, people can lie. Lying is not against the law. And I recently did a conversation where I was discussing Tasha K's reaction to learning that he wasn't going to release the podcast interview that she did. And I could tell that she was emotional and emotionally charged, and her response was definitely emotional. It doesn't mean that she was lying about anything that she said, but I can say for myself, we're all human. We're all human. We all are destined to make mistakes, and also we're all destined to make bad decisions. I will not call what Tasha K did a mistake. It was a bad decision. It was a decision that she made, because I've talked about this before. A mistake is like you wrote the wrong date on something when it, you thought it was the 22nd when it was really the 23rd. That was a mistake. Choosing to hit the button and go live to discuss Joe Budden, that was a choice that she made. And she even admitted that that was a bad decision, and she decided to take it down. Of course, that didn't mean that other people were not saving it and going to put it out there, because she even said in that video, clip this. So she actually was giving people permission to do that. But it was her choice on her own platform to take it down. So again, she made a decision, and then she made another decision. But here's what I wanted to say when I was talking about the defamation lawsuit before. I'm not getting into all of the specifics where it involves what was said in court. I could if I wanted to, and if I had the time, which I don't, sit and read court transcripts. But she stated, I never admitted that I lied about Cardi B. She said that what she said was in court when she was asked. She said there are some times where stories will come through to me that I don't vet. I don't vet every single source that comes to me and shares a story. So if the story indeed comes out to not be factual, then that's something that I made the decision to do. But when I talked about the defamation, what I was speaking to was defamation laws were put in place. It was all about money. It wasn't about feelings. It was about finances. And if something that was said about someone that was not true caused this person to lose money, lose deals, different things like that, financially hurting you, then that is something to take into consideration, not if it just hurt your feelings. And I was stating, because some people have made comments about, oh, she's vile, she's this, she's that, she's that. I'm not here to talk about the opinions or facts maybe about a specific individual, not even about Cardi B and how she is, because honestly, there's a lot that could be said about her too. But I was stating that the amount of the award was excessive, especially when it comes to the defamation, because it was supposed to be about finances, not about feelings. And it honestly, let's just be honest, it is debatable. I'm not saying that things that Tasha K said on her platform about Cardi B didn't hurt her feelings. I'm not saying that. But it is debatable whether the things that Tasha K said, which ultimately began with the interview that she did with Star Marie, who also was sued, didn't respond, and I believe she may have gotten a default judgment. Star Marie isn't having to pay Cardi B $4 million. The the default judgment may be like 5 figures, maybe like $50,000 or $75,000. You know what I mean? They put this in the hands of the jury. Yeah, people could say, well, Tasha K, she should have settled, or she had the opportunity to, or she asked her to take the videos down. We can't go back in the past. I'm talking about the amount of the judgment, okay? And it is debatable whether what Tasha K said caused Cardi B to lose money, because I've had some people comment to say, well, she did say that it caused her to be depressed, so she may have turned down some jobs or some deals or opportunities. Well, honestly, that would be a choice if Cardi B chose not to do that. That wouldn't be a company pulling the plug on Cardi B because it was said and unproven that Cardi B had an STD. And I gave an example when I talked about how if she had, let's say, for example, she had a deal with Victoria's Secret, and it's having to do with underwear or maybe some other intimate product or something like that, where they don't want to have an STD being thought about when it comes to their brand and their products. So they heard Tasha K's content being spread across the internet and they believed it. So they decided to pull back. That would be an example of Cardi B losing a deal and losing financially on opportunities that were being offered to her, versus Cardi B saying, it made me feel sad, it made me feel depressed, and I decided not to work. I decided not to do shows. I decided not to. That would be Cardi B's choice. That wouldn't be a company pulling the plug on opportunities that Cardi B was given to make money. You see, and I hope that makes sense for people. I'm not here to debate it. I'm just basically speaking the facts when it comes to defamation laws. And no, I don't come on the internet claiming to be an attorney, but I actually was a legal assistant for 12 years. It hasn't been recent, but the laws with defamation and suing someone for defamation of character have not changed, because it's gotten out of control in these days and times. And because now you have so many people saying, I'm going to sue you for defamation because somebody said something. And it's like, okay, how did that cause you to lose out financially? Because the laws are not based on feelings. And you can't just take someone to court. Honestly, you can. You can sue anyone for any reason at any time. It doesn't mean that you're going to be successful, because the court's going to take your money to file the lawsuit, whether it gets dismissed later or thrown out, or you are able to duke it out to the end and you lose in court. Either way, they're about making money, period. The clerk of court, they will go ahead and file your case, stamp it. You pay that fee. You don't do it for free. So people just saying, oh, I'm going to file for defamation of character. Really? How did what they say affect you financially? How did it cause you to lose out on opportunities financially? But I was saying that it is debatable whether what Cardi had said about her by Tasha K was causing her to go into depression. Because let's just be honest, around that same time, and it is public, she was being cheated on by her husband. So you mean to tell me that the embarrassment that your husband was doing, it is no effect on you, but what Tasha K said, even if it was said 100 times, was what caused you to go into a depression, not the nigga you sleeping with. And possibly, I'm not saying she had one, but like I've said before, if someone is cheating on you, they're not practicing safe sex, because they're already being irresponsible anyway. So you mean to tell me every time they're cheating on you, they're putting on a condom? And that's not even 100%. So let's just be honest. There's skin contact. There are STDs that you can get without, while using a condom or protection. None of those things are 100 proof. So I'm saying none of those things affected you that your husband was doing, but everything that Tasha K said affected you. And I'm not saying that what she said didn't affect her and didn't hurt her feelings, but how did it affect her financially and cause her to lose out on dues? Not, oh, well, it made me feel sad, so I decided not to go on a tour. That honestly is not the way it's supposed to work, because the courts, if it was anybody else, I'm just going to be honest. If it was anybody else, if a random sued another random for similar things and they took this person to court, it got to the point where there was a trial and this person said, well, the things that were said hurt my feelings. I was seeing a therapist. It caused me to go into depression. No, I didn't stop working, but there were opportunities that were presented to me. But because I was feeling down, I decided not to move forward. They're going to say, the court, the judge and jury is going to say, well, honestly, we're sorry that hurt your feelings, but that was your choice to not take those opportunities. It wasn't taken away from you because of what was said. If a company or an entity or organization or multiples of them said, yes, what we had listened to and what we heard said about Cardi caused us to pull back and not move forward, that would be a cause for saying this person caused me to lose financially. It's about finances. And Tasha K, what she said, right or wrong, it did not cause Cardi B to lose financially. And now that she's continuously wanting this woman that doesn't have that amount of money to pretty much she wants her to be broke and broken and bankrupt and doesn't want her kids to be able to go to college, and just a multitude of things that she has said. This is more about vengeance. This isn't about I am owed money and I am rightfully going to receive what's due to me, even if it takes her 30 years to pay it. This is about, no, I want her to be broke and I don't want her to be able to speak, even if she ain't speaking about me. But it's not okay for her to just speak about her experience, even if she's not saying, yeah, she does have an STD. I know that the court says she doesn't, but I believe that she does. That's not what's happening. So if someone that she feels that she is more in line with, like a Joe Budden, is giving her the opportunity and a platform to speak, she just does not like it. And people who are on Cardi B's side don't even know her. I don't know Tasha K. I'm just speaking about facts. So for me, like I've said before, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not trying to be a crony. I'm not trying to get up underneath Tasha K's skirt or anything like that. If this was anybody else in any other situation, it would be me speaking about what I believe is right and factual, not about trying to be on the popular side of a situation or trying to get in good with somebody. Because that same thing could be said about people who are taking up for Cardi B. I don't believe all those people that are speaking up for her are trying to get on her good side. Now, some of them are, and some of them already are, because they have that connection. They won't come out and say, well, you know what? I know I'm Team Cardi and she's my girl and I've spoken to her on the phone. I even have her phone number and all that other stuff. But when it comes to this situation, I have to speak about what's right. They're not going to do it because they already know how sensitive she is and she'll cut them off. So they're not going to. So they'll either say nothing at all, or they'll be, excuse me, because I'm subscribed to his channel too. But for me, like I said, it's not personal, but they'll be like Armand Wiggins and they'll come out and continue to talk about this situation, even though ultimately some of the things that are going on really are like, just let it go, girl. But because he can't stand Tasha K, he's not going to speak in a way that may seem unfavorable to Cardi B, period. But I want to play this clip because Joe Budden addressed the response that he received from Tasha K and others about why he decided not to release the interview.
Just to clear up for the community, some people were kind of, just worried about why you chose her in general. Can you just explain why might you had respected her work at one time?
Oh, you talking about Shorty Doo-Wop?
Yes, indeedy.
And keep in mind that we said at one time. That does this statement that he says has no reflection on how he may feel now.
No, listen.
And
the girl's work ethic is her work ethic. And she has it. If anybody take that away from her, I wanted to learn more about her. Clearly negligence on my part with that whole her Cardi. They both seem to be entirely too passionate about whatever occurred for even a regular interview to go down. But the interview wasn't coming out not because of Cardi. Like I already told her, that interview was a problem legally, financially, and algorithmically. There was a lot going on in that interview. It would be foolish of me to just put out an interview with the girl that just got sued and lost for $4 million without checking this. So all of this other shit just happened to happen while my lawyers was looking at this. So, I mean, listen, you play with pigs, you get mud on you. I don't have nothing to say. Let the like that's just a very destructive type of energy that I wouldn't have got that from her without meeting her. Like meeting her and hearing her story, and it's like, oh, this is why you like this. It's like, oh, okay, this is why some things are maybe hindering your progress. Oh, this is why there's levels to this. The way you move and it's still kind of low. I don't want to say low level, but it's
low vibrational.
Yes, yeah. It's a lot of that. So not to knock.
Go ahead, Dash.
All right, so you heard what he had to say. And listen, guys, okay, like I said, it's not illegal to lie. I don't believe him. Not that he cares what anybody says, honestly, because he's going to say whatever he feels like saying and doesn't feel like he needs to prove anything to anyone. But the reason why I don't believe him is because you say that you would not have felt her energy without meeting her. If you are this experienced podcaster, why wouldn't you choose to have a meeting with her to discuss some things before having this interview that she actually said was about 3 hours long? So in my personal opinion, especially him throwing shots, saying, when you get in the mud with pigs and whatever. So even if he could say, well, that was just a metaphor, I wasn't calling her a pig, I believe that he is pissed because she called him on some things that really can be questioned about him when it comes to his previous relationships. He does not have a good track record. I don't know a whole lot about the dude. I don't know none of his music. I remember him being on Love and Hip Hop New York. He does not have a good history with women, and he doesn't even have a good history with his previous co-hosts on his podcast. They said a lot of things about him. My husband used to watch his podcast when he used to have the previous two co-hosts. My husband said Joe Budden lies all the time. And like I said, I don't follow Joe Budden. I am speaking from what he said and also the things that I know about him that I have seen. And I just believe that there were things that Tasha K said in the interview, not just about her and Cardi B, but about him, that he did not want to have put out there. Because why would he have to have his attorney review an interview that he did with someone? I mean, let's just be real. So I believe, my personal opinion, I believe that there were some things that she said about him and his possible legal implications when it comes to women. Because if you listen to Tasha K's response to learning that he was not going to put the interview out, she mentioned some things about that. And so, I mean, because honestly, why would Cardi B come and sue him when he says, well, it would be foolish of me to put an interview out there with someone that just lost a major lawsuit, and she's speaking about that person. If Joe Budden isn't sitting on the interview that he's doing with her or his cast of characters saying, yeah, Cardi B, she does have STDs, we all know that. Like, why would Cardi B sue him? She might be pissed because, as you know, before this came out that he decided not to release the interview, Cardi B shared her thoughts about it.
I just feel like it's like he has an issue with me, and it was beyond the critique of bongos. It's just like you inviting bitches that said the rudest, nastiest shit. But when what's them niggas' name they used to do podcasts with?
Oh, Maul.
Maul, and the little other guy.
Yeah, when Maya and Rory say we fuck shit about you or lies about you, you get so defensive. You want to clear it up. You came at Taxstone because Taxstone says something about you. You want to clear it up, and you expect people to understand you, and you expect people to take your side. But I had to go to court. Because this woman, like, it's beyond saying that I have herpes, right? Like, come on now, like, it's beyond saying I have herpes. Like, this woman tried to run a I drug men campaign.
Yeah.
She paid men to say that I drugged them and raped them. She claimed that my dad.
Now, listen. Okay, I'm not going to go into the entirety of what she said, but that lawsuit was not, she brought Cardi B in that statement that she just said right there. She brought up some things that lawsuit wasn't about, because that was not even something that was in the lawsuit. It was about her saying that she had an STD, an incurable STD. Cardi B, she was the one that said those things online. Like, that's all around the internet. If you Google it, you will see Cardi B saying that she did that. So that wouldn't even be something that she could have sued Tasha K for, because that was something that she said. And now Cardi B saying that Tasha K paid men to say that she did that. What? Anyway, I'm not even going into all of that because that would just take me down another rabbit hole. But when you heard her in this statement, she was speaking about her feelings and his feelings. You would have someone on your platform that has said the rudest, nastiest stuff about me. And she said, and it's not about the STDs. So look at that. Listen to that, of what she just said. It's about her feelings. She doesn't want anyone saying anything about her that she doesn't deem as favorable, likable, honestly, low-key idolizing, okay? She wants to hear positive all the time. And who doesn't? I'm not saying that everyone is okay with hearing negative things about them. Most people don't want to hear that type of stuff. And I get it. I understand that. Honestly, I understand that more than anyone. But I also know how to protect myself by not getting into situations where I'm searching for myself. I'm looking to see if somebody's saying something negative about me so I can respond to it. I'm just not even going to put that into my spirit and in my psyche. But Joe Budden, when he made a critique about her new song, and then to learn that Tasha K was on the platform too, that was about her feelings. So when she started talking about how he doesn't like it when people say negative things about him, you cannot tell me that what Joe Budden decided to do in pulling back on the interview was a decision that he decided to make after having his attorney review the interview. I don't believe that. I honestly don't believe that. I believe that this was pressure that he felt based on Cardi B being who she is, her team, her label, all this other stuff, whatever. And him speaking about Tasha K and saying, it's no wonder you're like kind of stuck and you can't get to another level and this and that and the other. It's almost like he's saying, I have to play the game. And if I want to be where I am and excel further and higher, I have to play the game. And because you don't know how to play the game, I cannot be associated with you. Well, look, if he was that wise in handling things in that manner, he shouldn't have done the interview in the first place. If he was interested in doing that, maybe he should have, like I said, had a meeting with her or have a conversation with her. But I just don't believe his statement, because to fly her out there, have her in your space, do an interview. I don't care if the interview was only for like 30 minutes. But to do the interview and it's for like 2-3 hours, and then you think about it and say, maybe I should have my attorney review this. I could only say that would be the case if Tasha K said some things that were about him and about his legal matters where he needed to say, this might not be a good idea to put this out there because I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers when it comes to my own situations. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to keep going and not allow the statute of limitations to run out before someone decides, maybe I should bring that up before the statute runs out. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that is actually the truth. I'm saying that is a possibility, and that is my personal opinion. But when it comes to him and the statement that he made, I just don't believe it. My personal opinion is my personal opinion, but it is some of the things are based on the facts. And so I'm not here to debate or go back and forth with anyone. You're welcome to leave your thoughts and opinions respectfully in the comment section, but I just don't believe him. And I also believe, unfortunately, that Cardi B is, like she said, if we have beef, we're going to have beef forever. Just like she said on Love and Hip Hop many, many, many years ago. That really is who she is. A lot of reality shows are fake, but she was being who she really was. And on that show, she was pretty nasty and rude, and she was throwing shoes at people and beating people up with her sister and all kind of stuff like that. So I just believe that's who she really is, and she's never going to let anything go, especially when someone says something about her that she doesn't like. She beat that girl up because the girl told her boyfriend, I don't want you around Cardi B. I don't want to hear nothing about Cardi B. And that was her cause for throwing a shoe at the girl, hitting her in the head with a shoe, and her and her sister running up on stage and beating her up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that happened a long time ago, but that girl didn't sue her for assault. She could have. I'm just saying, it's just a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to this stuff. So when people try to say, well, Tasha K needs to pay her money. If she don't have it, she don't have it. And for people to say, well, she wrote a check her ass can't cash. Well, obviously, she even admitted it. She even admitted it. She said, talk about writing a check that my ass can't cash. So she even admitted that. But it's like, if people don't have it, what do you want them to do? Like Tyrese said, what more do you want from me? And it's just sad. I feel for the situation. And I'm not saying that Cardi B did not get her feelings hurt or she didn't go through depression for the things that she heard. And not just about herself from the mouth of Tasha K, but a lot of people, because there's a lot of people who may say nasty, negative things about her. But I just don't believe that the amount of money that Tasha K has been ordered to pay is warranted. I don't believe that it caused Cardi B to lose out on any money. And if it did, and she chose not to take shows or take deals or do things, that was her decision. No company decided to pull back from working with Cardi B because of what Tasha K said. We have to be honest about that, guys. And unfortunately, even though the laws are the laws, when it comes to influence of celebrity in courts, it is extremely high. So there are times when things happen where people get by because of who they are. But if you were a random person, you wouldn't be able to get away with it. Like, for example, Donald Trump was just in my city a couple of days ago. And he went to an armory and he purchased a weapon. As someone who is under criminal indictment, he is not allowed to do that. Do you think he's going to go to jail for that? Absolutely not, because of who he is. But if he was a random Joe Blow who was under criminal indictment and was out on bond, which is what Donald Trump is out on, he's out on bond. He was arrested in Fulton County, Georgia, took a mugshot, was released on bond, didn't sit 1 second in a jail cell. But if he was a random regular person, he would have sat in a jail cell for a little bit of time, even if it was a few minutes. And if he got out on bond, he would not be able to purchase a weapon because it is against the law when you are under criminal indictment. And so if they found out that you did that, do you not think that they would come haul your ass and lock you up? They absolutely would. Donald Trump is on video doing this. And they admitted it. He said, I want to buy that. They had his picture on it. He bought it. He's not going to go to jail for that because of the influence, because of who he is. I'm not trying to compare Cardi B to the former president, but what I'm saying is when it comes to celebrity, because it's not just about him being the former president, it's about the celebrity, which is why a lot of lunatics worship this clown, but it's about celebrity. And when it comes to celebrity, a lot of them get influenced. Yes, some of them, they don't get away with it, but they get by for a longer period of time than a lot of other people do. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to Cardi B, a lot of what she received was because of the influence that she has because of her celebrity. Point blank and period. So anyway, guys, this went a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I really just wanted to get my thoughts, views, and opinions and facts out there. Let me know yours in the comment section below respectfully. Thank you for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye.